Welcome to Daily Celebrity Data. The boxing world has been shaken by stories hidden from the spotlight. Legends once unstoppable now battle silent enemies far deadlier than any opponent. Behind the glory lies heartbreaking truth. Stories you never knew until now. At 74, Roberto Duran battles the weight of age and health struggles. Born on June 16, 1951 in Panama, the man once called Hands of Stone ruled 4 divisions in his prime. Though his body shows the years, his legend remains one of the most enduring in boxing history. Today, Sugar Ray Leonard enjoys stable health, rare among retired champions. Born on May 17, 1956 in North Carolina, he dazzled the world as a 5-division title holder and one of the legendary 4 Kings. Even without the gloves, his brilliance continues to inspire boxing fans worldwide. The lasting effects of boxing followed Thomas Hearns into his 60s. Born on October 18, 1958 in Tennessee, the Hitman once terrified opponents with devastating knockouts, winning 7 world titles. Now at 66, Hearns carries the marks of the ring, but his fearless spirit still commands respect. Health battles have become daily life for Larry Holmes, born on November 3, 1949, in Georgia. Once the Eastern Assassin, he defended the heavyweight crown 20 times between 1978 and 1985. At 75, diabetes and heart concerns test him, yet his fighting spirit refuses to fade. Memory lapses and heart concerns accompany Frank Bruno today. Born on November 16, 1961, in London, he captured Britain's heart and the WBC heavyweight title in the 1990s. At 63, health challenges follow him, yet Bruno's strength and charm remain symbols of pride in British boxing. Once celebrated for his sharp boxing mind, Riddick Bowe, born August 10, 1967, in Brooklyn, now battles cognitive decline. The undisputed heavyweight champion who dethroned Evander Holyfield lives a slower, quieter life at 58. His health has faded, but the echoes of his victories remain unforgettable. The brilliance of Wilfred Benitez shines through his past, though Alzheimer's clouds his present. Born September 12, 1958 in Puerto Rico, he became the youngest world champion at just 17. At 67, daily life is filled with memory struggles, yet El Radar is still remembered as a prodigy of the sport. For Jeff Fenech, health challenges have replaced the battles of the ring. Born May 28, 1964, in Sydney, he captured world titles in 3 divisions. At 61, repeated heart surgeries and fragile health test his spirit, but he continues to appear strong for fans who still call him their champion. Daniel Jacobs' health story is as inspiring as his victories. Born February 3, 1987 in Brooklyn, he overcame bone cancer that once threatened his career. At 38, Jacobs lives cancer-free, though careful checkups remain part of his routine. Known as the Miracle Man, his survival is his greatest title. Pritchard Colon's life changed forever after the ring. Born September 19, 1992 in Florida, he once carried hopes as a Pan-American gold medalist. At just 33, he requires daily care due to brain injury. His struggle has become a symbol of perseverance, showing strength beyond boxing titles. For Michael Watson, born March 15, 1965, in London, one night in 1991 changed everything. A brain injury left him with lasting disabilities. At 60, he depends on daily support, his movements limited, yet his determination to live on turned his name into one of Britain's most inspiring boxing stories. The glory of Donald Curry, born September 7, 1961, in Texas, feels distant today. Once the undisputed welterweight champion, he now suffers from brain illness that weakens memory and balance. At 64, Curry's health is fragile, yet fans still remember the sharp skills of the Lone Star Cobra. Decades of Parkinson's disease have shaped Freddie Roach's life. Born March 5, 1960, in Massachusetts, he once fought in the ring before becoming a legendary trainer. At 65, tremors and speech difficulties affect him daily, but his sharp coaching mind continues to guide champions like Manny Pacquiao. The strength that once defined Gerald McClellan now contrasts with his condition today. Born October 23, 1967 in Illinois, the former WBC middleweight champion suffers severe brain damage and partial blindness. At 57, he requires full-time care, but his reputation as a fearsome puncher remains unforgettable. Fame arrived early for Meldrick Taylor, born October 19, 1966, in Philadelphia. An Olympic gold medalist and WBC champion, his career came at a cost. Years of punishment left him with neurological damage. At 58, speech and coordination issues persist, yet his epic fight with Chavez keeps his legacy alive. The body of Masahiko Harada, born April 5, 1943, in Tokyo, shows the marks of time. Once a two-division world champion, known as Fighting Harada, he now copes with the natural weakness of old age. At 82, his strength has faded, but his role as Japan's boxing pioneer is never forgotten. Few fighters embodied power like Mike Weaver, born July 7, 1952, in Texas. His nickname, Hercules, spoke for itself. But at 73, the years have left him struggling with memory lapses and the toll of brutal battles. The man who once stunned crowds with late-round knockouts now lives with fragile health. Life after boxing has been a struggle for Vito Antuofermo, born February 9, 1953, in Italy. A former WBC and WBA middleweight champion, he now deals with declining mobility. At 72, simple actions like walking have become challenges, a stark contrast to the toughness he once showed in the ring. Carlos Zarate, born May 23, 1951, in Mexico City, was once feared as a knockout king with 63 stoppages. Today, at 72, he faces declining health and slower movement. Though the years have weakened his body, the memory of his devastating punches still resonates among fans worldwide. Danny Lopez's story is one of glory and fragility. Born July 6, 1952, in Utah, he thrilled fans as WBC featherweight champion with an explosive style. Now at 73, health issues have slowed him down. But Little Red Lopez is still remembered as a fearless warrior of his era. The cheers of the crowd are long gone, and Ben Villaflor, born November 10, 1952, in the Philippines, now faces the quiet reality of old age. Once a two-time world champion, he lives at 72 with fading strength, though his name still stands proudly in the history of Philippine boxing. For Maurice Hope, born December 6, 1951, in Antigua, daily life has grown more challenging. Once the WBC light middleweight champion, he now lives with reduced mobility and energy. At 73, his health is fragile, but his achievements still remind Britain of his consistency in the ring. Once known for his incredible toughness, Tony Mundine, born June 10, 1951, in Australia, has since faced heart problems. At 74, the strong fighter of the 70s now lives cautiously, his health demanding constant attention. Yet his reputation as one of Australia's hardest men still survives. John Conte's journey has shifted from glamour to simplicity. Born May 27, 1951, in Liverpool, the former WBC light heavyweight champion now lives quietly at 74. Health decline has slowed his movements, but his stylish fighting days remain etched in British boxing's memory. Frankie Baltazar never reached the world title, yet his name is respected. Born April 14, 1958, in California, he fought bravely in the lightweight division. Now 67, his health reflects years of battles, his strength reduced, but his role in American boxing history endures. The toughest battles came after the ring for Paul Banker. Born March 4, 1964, in California, the 1990 WBC Super Bantamweight champion now lives with AIDS and dementia pugilistica. At 61, his health is fragile, his body weakened, but his story of survival continues to inspire boxing fans. Nick Blackwell's life turned upside down in 2016. Born March 27, 1990, in England, the British middleweight champion suffered a severe brain injury that ended his career. At just 35, he struggles with lasting neurological damage, limited independence, yet his survival remains a powerful reminder of boxing's risks. Some champions are born with battles before they ever fight. Joe Hughes, born January 6, 1990, in England, lived his entire life with Erb's palsy, limiting one arm. Even today at 35, the condition affects his daily activities, but his career as European champion proves true determination knows no limits. Retirement brought Frankie Baltazar his hardest fight. Born February 14, 1958 in California, the former lightweight contender now battles dementia and Parkinson's disease. At 67, memory loss, tremors, and difficulty speaking shape his life, but his legacy as part of a proud boxing family endures. Bryant Perella's rise was cut short far too early. Born March 27, 1989 in Florida, he showed promise in the 2010s before a rare blood disorder forced him out of boxing. Now 36, he manages the illness carefully, his body limited, but fans still remember his sharp technical skills. Marvin Kammel's health shows the weight of years. Born December 24, 1951, in Montana, he made history as the first WBC cruiserweight champion. Now 73, fatigue, slower movement, and age-related decline accompany his days, but his pioneering role in the division remains untouched. Billy Backus reminds us that even champions face time's toll. Born March 5, 1943, in New York, he shocked the world in the 70s as WBA welterweight champion. At 82, he lives with frailty, reduced stamina, and everyday struggles, but his place in boxing history remains secure. These boxing warriors gave us unforgettable nights, but now they fight their greatest battles outside the ring. Their strength reminds us that even heroes are human. Stay with us. More untold stories await in the next chapter.